Welcome back to week 2 of our current scene coloring breakdown series here on the Sweet November Stamps YouTube channel. I am Amy and I am co-owner and illustrator of Sweet November Stamps. Last week we began our eerie mist-filled graveyard scene featuring SN Guy Baron from the latest Sweet November Stamps Clear Halloween release. I've paired him with the older Spookville Horizon Lines stamp set to create that graveyard background off in the distance. And we mapped out basically where our mist is going to be kind of floating across the scene. And this week we're going to start working on Baron himself. And we will be doing his skin and his hair this week. So, because I want to give our vampire a bit more sallow skin tone, I'm going to be starting with a BV20. Now, because he is facing off towards the left-hand side of the card, even though it's a night scene, but I think I will be adding a moon, so I'll make sure I have it over here on the left-hand side of the card so that we get that moon glow hitting him kind of full on the front of his body here. So I'm going to put my darker colors opposite that over here on the right-hand side of him. And I'm just going to, right now with this BV20, I am just laying shadow down anywhere where I know I'm going to want his facial features to be the darkest. So this is just giving me a map of all, where the shadows kind of land on his face. And neck and hands. That's all the skin we have showing on him. Reinforce the inside of that eye because we're building up with shadow the bridge of his nose here. I'll bring it up a little bit closer so he's a smaller character, so you can see how I've kind of mapped out the shadows on his face there. Then I'm just going to come in with my skin tone colors. We'll do kind of a base coat of E000. And this is going to go over the majority of his face. I will leave little highlights across the brow ridge here and the cheekbones and that bridge of the nose. I'm going to come in with E04 next. That's jumping up to my darkest in the combo. Very tip of that nib. Trying to have a very light hand because a little will go a long way with this one. I'm going to reinforce the shadow under his nose, his little end of the mouth there, and now I'm going to be pretty generous under the neck. Inside of the eyes is going to help, and under the brow it's going to kind of recess those eyes back a little further. Just a little dab. I'm not going to take it because we have that mist going over part of his hand here, so I'm not going to be taking it all the way down the fingers. I'm going to use lighter colors down there just to kind of play up the opacity of the mist or fog going in front of his hand. From there, let's use our E11. To soften and pull the E04. be the same down here. Not going to be as generous on the hand with these darker colors in our combination. I'll show you a close-up before we come in with the E00. So I'm just continuing. You can see how that brow has stayed fairly light, cheekbones, the chin, the bridge of that nose. We'll continue to fill in the white cardstock with the E00. Back to the E-triple. To fill in all that skin tone now. I'm even going to come back with my BV20. Anywhere where I just want to make it look a little bit more sallow, a little bit more, you know, play up the undead nature of Mr. Vampire here. Okay. So there you can see how all those colors have come together and give him definite planes and dimension within his facial structure there. Now we will move on to his hair. I think we'll give him classic black hair, maybe with a little sprinkling of gray at his temple there. So I think I'll go with C's, the cool grays. We'll just start with a C7. He doesn't have a whole lot of hair, so, you know, it's easier to add than take away, so I'm trying to be pretty light-handed and not go too overboard with this C7. Oh, forgot his eyebrows. Want those to be nice and dark. C5. Pulling out the C7, leaving kind of this halo of white space. That's kind of my highlights in his hair here. Across that crown of his head. And then the C3, where I want it to be kind of the lighter gray, just above his ears. And we'll let it kind of play out up here as well. Now I'm going to jump up to like a C9 or C10. Looks like it'll be 10. And I'm just going to use the very tip of this nib and give myself some low lights coming through. The artist drawn lines are a handy thing to follow. I'm just going to break through those highlights. I'm going to add a few extra low lights wherever I feel like I need them. Back to the C7. Just a very light hand. Because, you know, dark colors can be a very easily, if you go a little too heavy-handed or a little too generous with them, it's easy to lose the contrast that you're after, and you get just kind of this dark mass. So I really do try to utilize that white cardstock for a nice shine to make it a very shiny head of hair. And that's all I'm going to do in that hair. I'm not going to blend it out any more than that, because I like the light gray at his temples there, and we've got a nice contrast across the top. All right, so hair is done. I think I am going to give him a little bit of color, just a very light touch of maybe, thinking maybe RV 93 or 91. I'll try 91. Just for a little color on the lips. Still got a gray tone to it, so I'm not going too bright of a pink. And then for his eyes, I kind of almost want to give him a kind of red cast. So I'm thinking just a dot of maybe R14. Because they're a very small eye. Here we go. Yeah, now he's looking spooky. All right, so let's wrap that up for this week, and we will complete the rest of SN Guy Baron's ensemble next Thursday. So until then, there we go, close up of what we've done today. Thank you for joining me, and stay crafty, my friends. Bye.